So the next one is the album Ask Rufus by Rufus on the
Hmm.
list, but featuring is like an understatement, but um I mean a very featured player, Chaka Khan, which I did not know when I started this album.
No.
Um that one's at number 499. This album came out on my mom's birthday, April 12th in 1977. Shout
Hmm.
out, Mom. On ABC Records. It says that it was self-produced because I think Rufus Wainwright and his band like basically took care of themselves. This was the collective's fifth album, which I thought was interesting. This was their fifth album.
Hmm.
What did you think about Ask Rufus?
Hey, it's Kyle. Just jumping in real quick to ask, do you approve this groove? Let us know in the comments. Give us a quick thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and join the conversation. I was the same. I featuring Shaka Conley. She's the singer.
Right,
What do you mean
right.
featuring? Like she's the singer. But I've been kind of bitten by a bit of a funk bug in the last year or two. So I was really looking forward to listening to this just after, just a quick
Sure.
look at what it was and what to expect from it. I was like, oh, this sounds like something that could potentially be up my alley. For me, this kicked off high. Like that first song at
Yes.
midnight, I was in my car driving and like just grooving with that song.
Yes. My first note is track one, absolute banger.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
that was my first thought too. Yeah,
Yep.
that's funny.
Yep. And it really hit me hard and quick, and I really enjoyed it. It kind of after that, it just leveled out for me. I found myself tapping my foot a lot to the bass. I loved the rhythm section throughout this entire album, which is, that's the funk thing. Like the bass and the drums on this are were a good juxtaposition to the drums on the Arcade Fire album, because the drummer for Rufus was just, he was in the pocket and he had feel, and you could feel his feel for the music, and it was just enjoyable to listen to. I really liked it. I The thing that took away from it a little bit for me was there was a lot of like orchestration to it. Like
Mhm.
there was a lot of, orchestral arrangements as a part of it, and it kind of veered a little bit from funk into more disco-y feel at times, which is, it's the 70s. That makes a whole lot of sense. That kind of drew me out of it a little bit. And lyrically, there wasn't much for me, but, again, I'm not anymore much of a lyric
It's
person.
yeah, it's interesting to hear you say that because, we talk about context, right? This is the I mean, I've heard Shaka Khan songs, sure, and
Hmm.
I'm sure I have. I know that I have. I didn't know I had no exposure to this. So to hear you say like that it got out of funk a little bit, right? And
Hmm.
more into the notes on Apple Music say for their fourth album, so that's, with the collaboration, Rufus transformed from party hardy funk rompers to purveyors of smooth, melancholy 70s sounds. String arrangements and dinnertime jazz accent the band's angular bass notes, and the songs unfold at a mid tempo piece that'll soothe as it stirs.
And I think that,
So yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say that aligns with how the rest of, after that first song is a funk banger. But
Yeah,
but the rest of the album, like I said, for me, it kind of just leveled out, and that makes
yes.
sense.
I think a good example of that is Hollywood, which I know we talked about. Like, I heard that song, and I don't know if you know the reference or know the sample, but like, I heard this, and it took me. it took me all of the first listen and probably two other songs to be like, where I know this, and I was singing the hook in my mind. I was like, I know this is sampled, and I was like, oh, it's the J, and I didn't know which one it was, but it was like J Cole used this. I know J Cole used this. So that one, I mean, that's a smooth. Like I'm not a purveyor of funk. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like. Sure, I got it. I could probably pick it out of a lineup, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, this isn't funk. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and that one was cool. The other song that like killed me was the last song, Egyptian song, like which felt wonderfully out of place.
Yeah.
Like I mean, thematically, like everything, like but it also had a little bit of an earworm to it. Where I was listening to it tonight as I was
Mm-hmm.
making dinner, just kind of refreshing. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this one. That one was kind of interesting to me. Yeah, I loved at midnight. I thought that one was amazing. So for me to pick out at midnight the first track and then Hollywood because it was sampled, like it's like okay, that's kind of interesting. But I enjoyed it. Like I mean, I gave it a two in that like I don't think I need to come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe other than at midnight if for some reason I really want to stir it up. But like I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Like sure for what it was. Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
But I don't. I feel like I got it.
You got it, and that's all you need.
Yeah,
Yeah. I and
I'm moving on.
I gave it a three because I did. I think I wanted to like it more than I ended up liking it, but
I think that's fair.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, it's I enjoyed it for what it was, and for me it was fine. When I come back to like when I simplify my ratings down a little bit, that's what a three is for me. It was fine.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. We'd love to know what you think of this album, so let us know in the comments. Do you approve this groove? And as always, a quick thumbs up helps a lot. Subscribe so you can see all 500 albums, and we'll see you on the next record.